Hello. In this short video we will be discussing the topic of innovation and design with a focus on Google and their product, the Google Glass. The best way to begin describing Google's innovation and design is by first understanding who they are and where they came from. Google was first founded by two students out of Stanford University in September of 1998. The students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, wanted to devise a new way of searching for things online that differed to sites that existed during that era. As a result, Google first began as a revolutionary and innovative type of search engine. From this origin, Google has become a household name and even has a registered verb, to Google, within the Oxford English Dictionary. Since its conception in 1998, Google has designed and innovated many different products and services for users across the world, some of which are used by individuals on a daily basis. For example, Gmail was introduced in 2004 and is now one of the most widely used email domains in the world. Some of Google's biggest leaps forward in innovation were the introduction of Google Maps and Google Earth in 2005. However, it's Google's most recent innovations which likely shape what make the company one of the most innovative in the world today. The introduction of Google Chrome in 2008 revolutionized the landscape of internet browsing, as many general computer users found themselves switching from the regularly criticized Internet Explorer to Google's faster and more powerful internet browser, Chrome. As well as Chrome, in the preceding year to Chrome's release, Google announced the introduction of Android, a new operating system for the up-and-coming smartphone technology. By 2008, the first Android phone was released, and by 2010, Google had released their first Nexus smartphone, which would lead to a long line of products following this name, such as tablets and more powerful smartphones. This chain of events became one of Google's modern flagship innovations and shifted the company from its roots as an innovative search engine into being a company that stands for innovative technology in general. In this video, we plan to analyze the innovation and design of Google's most recent attempt at this in its Google Glass product. The glass itself is unique, and when looking at it for the first time, appears to be something straight out of science fiction. In this sense, this could explain the overall design which Google opted for when making this device. Google states that Project Glass is the next step in wearable technology, following the success of smartwatches. It contains a camera, HUD and GPS, all whilst performing tasks now typical of a smartphone. Now we'll move on to the design. The concept was a type of wearable technology with an optical mounted display. It displays information in a smartphone-like hands-free format, with users able to communicate with the glass through natural voice commands. The products and services within the product, i.e. the package, which provide the features, include an HUD, heads-up display, camera, microphone and GPS. Having a look at the process of making the Google Glass, the designer is Google themselves and the manufacturer is Foxconn. Google don't have any stores, therefore the customer receives the product through delivery by a third party. Design can be split into three parts: aesthetics, functionality and usability. Aesthetically, the product takes the shape of standard glasses without the lenses, with a heads-up display on the right-hand side. The glass is customizable with 5 color options and is lighter than the average pair of sunglasses, weighing just 43 grams. There are also many functions to the glass, the main ones being listed here. In terms of usability, it's very simple. The glass functions by voice commands. All reviews have said that it's user-friendly and easy to learn. The process of designing the product is a long and iterative one. It first begins by sketching the product by hand. Then it will be drawn on a computer using a 2D program. These shapes would then laser cut in paper. After much iteration, the team would make the models in harder materials like plastic. Subsequently, they began to laser cut the shapes from metals. Once the icons were finalized, the designs became 3D, with 3D print being made. The process, as described by lead designer on the Google Glass project, Isabel Olsen, is a long, intricate, back-and-forth process. She went on to reinforce the importance of prototyping and seeing what the finished product looks like in real life. To give you an idea of what the finished product was like, here is a short video demonstrating its capabilities.
Turn right on Brewer Street.
Just getting on now. Which carriage?
Google Indian takeaway.
These look good.
Film it. Where is it? I know where it's going. Yeah, that's it.
Next, we'll talk about innovation. There are many definitions and kinds of innovation. We've taken innovation in itself to mean the successful exploitation of new ideas, where companies achieve competitive advantage and innovation with new technologies and new ways of doing things. There are four main approaches to design: technological, open, design-driven, and disruptive or radical. And Google Glass can be said to be an example of all four of these. Being a brand new product, it's technologically innovative, developed not just by the team at Google, but with the help and information from beta testers, making it open innovation. And then there was an aim to make it beautiful and comfortable, therefore it's design-driven as well. Finally, as the first wearable smart device to be recognised by the mass commercial market, it has led to a disruption with numerous competitors like Microsoft attempting to follow suit into this new market with their product, the HoloLens. Next we will define the innovation more specifically using a tool called the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps stand for product, position, process and paradigm. As mentioned earlier, the Google Glass was a new product from Google, not an improvement from the previous one. This qualifies it as product innovation. As a new product, it cannot be position innovation by the very definition. A new product requires a new process to manufacture it, therefore the process of making Google Glass is innovative. If we take Google Glass as just the next form of smart device, a device to use apps, GPS, take photos and videos, then making it a wearable device is certainly changing its paradigm. Having spoken about the background of the product, the design, and the kind of innovation it is, let's now talk about the process of bringing the project from concept to launch using the stage gate model. The stage gate model is a map for moving a new product from idea to launch. Most companies use it, but only the successful ones make it to the last stage. The first step is the discovery stage, where the idea is developed. As seen on the picture, Google took advice from customers via surveys, for instance, leading to the concept generation. On stage at TED 2013, Google co-founder Sergey Brin calls for a new way of seeing our relationship with our mobile computers, not hunched over a screen, but meeting the world heads up. This is the vision behind Google Glass. Even though the invention was quite futuristic, Google thought through scoping that this was feasible, acceptable, meaning the customer wants it, and not vulnerable because of the benefits it could bring to customers. After these preliminary phases comes the critical stage, the building of the business case. Google made it through that stage by seeing the different opportunities of the product. For instance, gaining a greater share in growing markets such as mobile local advertising and the wearable technology industry, which, with the Glass, Google will be able to establish a first mover advantage in. Then the actual design and development of the new product occur. The manufacturing operations plan is mapped out, the marketing launch and the operating plans are developed, and the test plans for the next stage are defined. The product was publicly announced in April 2012, and in April 2013, the Explorer edition was made available to Google developers for £1,000. The finished version of the original Google Glass never made it past the testing and validation phase, where the entire project is validated. The product, the production and manufacturing process, customer acceptance, and the economics of the project. The last step in the process is the launch, meaning the full commercialization of the product. Like all models, the design and stage gate model has limitations. This model has been criticized because it's extremely linear. This means it lacks flexibility and reacts poorly to market changes. The linearity of the model also restricts radical innovation, which does not happen in a straight line process. Finally, the presence of a multitude of stakeholders throughout the process might cause a lack of continuity, hence resulting in a loss of intent or momentum. The Google Glass itself has some issues which stopped it reaching launch. It was too expensive at £1,000. There were privacy and recording issues. Other people didn't know if they were being recorded by Google Glass users. Aesthetically, it was thought that it should be less visible, and it was quite distracting. For example, if you were driving a car and a message popped up, that could be extremely dangerous. Legally, several establishments have banned the hardware from their premises, such as museums and casinos in Las Vegas, because of the ability for recording devices. It was also feared that it was quite antisocial. The Google Glasses enable people to be more connected to social networks, the media, and can pull them away from real life. There was also a lack of utility because it depended on phone connections for its use, so Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and 3 or 4G. There was also a slight problem with it causing headaches. We would like to end by giving some recommendations about what Google Glass can do to make their next product more likely to succeed. Firstly, change the design to make it less obvious. Next, do more customer research based around the number of people who would like to use the product on a day-to-day basis. Currently, it can only perform the same functions as a smartphone, and people are reticent to change unless it offers them more. Google's greatest concern is about tailoring the product to the needs and wants of the consumer. Thank you very much for listening.